1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nobody should be hearing that. Yeah, I think. Hey guys, we got Andy Calloway here. We got Ivan here. Good to have you guys. Oh, I should mute the computer, huh? I think I gotta mute something. Hold on. I gotta see where I'm hearing it from. My YouTube channel. That's where I was hearing it from. Okay, I'm back to StreamYard. All right, anybody got any questions? Come on in. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. I found out from ICOM what happened to my radio and why it broke and how much it cost me to fix it, and a little preventative maintenance we're going to do for the future. And we're going to talk about that tonight using the SAT box for satellite contacts. Dear God, I hope it gets back early. They said 5 days. I haven't gotten a shipping notice yet or a tracking number. They said it would go out today, the latest, or yesterday. It has. I have not gotten any information yet from ICOM. Although I did pay them the $172 to fix my radio, and then they're going to ship it back. Also, cost me $134 to ship it to them. So in all, about $300 it cost me, this little error that we had. And I'm going to talk about a very inexpensive way to fix that for the future. So hang in there. If anybody wants to join me on the stream, at the top of the chat, there's a link. And also the last thing I just posted was a link. Yeah, no outdoor with a handheld tonight. Not during a thunderstorm. Hopefully I should have my radio back earliest Friday, the latest Monday or Tuesday. Dear God, let it be by then. I am missing my radio. You know, you don't realize it until you lose something. In the words of Joni Mitchell, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? You pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Yeah. So anyway, I sent it off to ICOM. You guys knew that. If you were watching the last live stream I did of a satellite pass, you would have seen that at the moment I acknowledged there was a crack of thunder was the exact moment that the CIV port stopped working on my 9700. I didn't notice that at the time, but one of my followers and subscribers emailed me and said, "Hey, you should go back and look at that video. You'll see as soon as you mention the thunder crack you heard, that was when the radio stopped working." Sofa Dog, he wants to know. Listen, this isn't like Eddie. I can answer any questions, but I'll try. How do you think I can make a ham radio with a Raspberry Pi? You can't. Raspberry Pi is a mini computer. It's not a radio. So you would have to have an SDR dongle, or you'd have an SDR play or something that you can listen to ham radio with the Raspberry Pi. But no, if you want to transmit with the Raspberry Pi, you could do it with a Sherry node. You can make that up. And I have a Sherry node in my house that runs on a Raspberry Pi 3 and a Sherry node that I picked up on Amazon. So that's one way you can do it. But yeah, that's how you would do that. All right, what time is it here? 5:54. I don't want to get into the meat of the conversation until it's 6 o'clock, because many people will be joining us at 6. Worldwide, we got people here from Northern Ireland. We got people here from England. And oh, that's interesting. Listen to what Iman has to say. Actually, the PPI can transmit LOL, but it's square wave, so not a clean at all. It's not hip with the program either. If it's a square wave, get it, corners? I'm giving off my age here, making jokes like that. So probably nobody got it either except me or anybody that's at least 60 years old. I'm a little older than 60. I just turned 70 last week. And we are at 555, 55. That's good. That's a number you could play in the lottery. 55555. All right. Yeah, we're going to start soon. We're going to talk about the SAT box, which I have one right here. This is the newest version of it. And I like this. This has Bluetooth built in, but they have not perfected the Bluetooth yet. And we're going to talk about the ports on top and where they go and what they do and why you need to be protected. I'm kind of miffed that nobody ever said this. and because the solution is simple. And I will get to that in a second. If anybody has any other questions in the chat, go right ahead. You can join me on the screen if you'd like. I put the link there. Right before I said I think I will go live early. If you click on that link, I will add you to the screen with me, and you can ask any questions you want. Give me any advice you might have. Tell me a lesson that you ran into with your radios and how you repaired your radio or got it fixed. Yeah, it was not a direct hit. It wasn't even close, the hit. The flash happened, and a couple of seconds later, I heard the thunder, and that was enough to knock out the CIV port on the ICOM 9700. All right. Anybody else out there want to join in? Give us a chat. We got 5 people watching. We got 1 thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified whenever I go live. Once I get my 9700 back, we'll be going live a lot again. It's convenient that the ISS early in the morning is nowhere near me. The time, actually, right this minute, the ISS just passed about 10 minutes ago, and it was a great pass. It was probably about a 60-degree pass. So I'm not standing outside in a thunderstorm with a piece of metal in my hand pointing to the sky. So we didn't do it tonight. But soon the ISS will be coming around again. It orientates its orbit constantly. I shouldn't say that. If you look at the geochron behind me, maybe I could show you just the geochron. Here we go. And you could see how you see the dotted yellow line just to the right of my picture there? That dotted line is where the next pass will be. The solid yellow line is the last pass. And you can see it's over Northern Europe right now, the ISS. So the timing of the orbits at this point, there's no passes during the day. They're all 5 to 6 to 7 o'clock at night. So hopefully when I get my radio back, I'll get it all hooked back up, and I'll get back on the air as soon as I can to the ISS doing live streaming to it. All right, so we are here, and it is 5:59, and I am going to start to tell my story about my ICOM 9700. First of all, my IC 9700 is the most used radio in my ham shack. Why? I use it for accessing my open spot to get into a Wires X room. I use it to get to local repeaters. I scan local repeaters in the morning. What else? I use it for satellites, of course. Hey, my buddy Roger came to the game. How you doing, Roger? So I use it for everything. This radio gets more work than even my IC 7300 that's on FT8 a lot during the day. So I miss it. I miss this radio. I tried all kinds of things to try to still make contacts, but it's not convenient and it's pretty rough. If you go back to my YouTube channel, you can see a couple of videos I did portable a little bit while I was up in Wisconsin. My all-star note, making sure I go live when I have to. So it is 6 o'clock. And anyway, so where was I? Okay, so I use the 9700 all the time. You know I do a lot of live satellite feeds. I am probably the only YouTube channel other than Captain Don, who does a lot of portable live. He streams live when he's doing his portables. Other than him, Don and me, nobody else is streaming. Nobody else is streaming live satellite contacts. I do it on IO117. You've heard my frustrations with that. I've done it with. I haven't done FT4 to RS44 yet, which I want to try. And I enjoy this tremendously. It was a hook for me. When I heard I could talk to satellites, it blew my mind. So I ran and studied and did everything I could. Now, a side note, near the time that I was starting to get into this, we're talking two and a half years ago, I was in the market for an APRS gateway. If you're not familiar with what an APRS gateway is, it's a place that accepts your APRS beacons and puts them out on the internet. So, because when you're driving around in your car and you want to be tracked, APRS is the best way to go, and people use that for that. So there had originally been an APRS gateway in my neighborhood, and it disappeared. The guy either passed away or he moved out of state. It's no longer there. So from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way down to Port Orange, there was no gateway. So if you were beaconing APRS, it wasn't going anywhere. It just go out into the ether. There was nothing to pick it up. So I'm shopping around for an APRS gateway, and I come across this CSN Technologies page. When I got to CSN Technologies, I went, what's that thing? See a picture of the gateway, and next to it is a picture of this. SAT box. What's an SAT box? So I started looking into it. And let me see if I can get you the page I was talking about. CSN Technologies. Where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. That's their LinkedIn page. Here's their page. All right, so I'm doing a search on Google for APRS Gateway, and I come across, oh, this ain't it. This is csntechnologies.co. Let's try this one. Nope. I think I would have their page bookmarked by now. What happened? My internet died? I'm still streaming, right? Nothing's coming up. Let's just do Sapbox. There we go. Sapbox. It's not it. Google Play. Hold on. Aspetta. That's Italian for hold your horses. We'll get to you. Wow, there's a million Sapboxes, all different things. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm searching around and I come across the CSN Technologies. I'm doing the right website, right? Oh, it's .net, you idiot. All right, now I'll get the right page. Come on. There we go. Okay, let me see if I could show you this page. Let's add in a screen capture. Hold on. There it goes. All right, I just got to shrink it down a little smaller so we don't lose me. Here we go. Okay, so this is CSN Technologies page. And you see on the right side, that box with the two antennas, that's the iGate. Oh, I got a message here for Don. I'll get to him in a second. All right, so that's the iGate. But if you notice to the left of the iGate's the SAT box. So I right away went on this page, and I'm looking at this because this is what I was really interested in, which has not been available yet. They're working on it. I talked to them last week, and they're working on a new version of this gateway. You'll be able to just plug it into your router. It'll accept APRS signals and send them back out again and put them on a map. So that would be cool. But this is what I was interested in. I said, SATbox, a self-contained antenna, rotor, and radio controller, controls both ICOM radios and Yaesu rotators without any additional hardware or software requirements. Absolutely mind-blowing. So I didn't believe it. I had just dealt with a particular individual with a particular radio that was a piece of crap that I bought for the main reason that somebody had done a video on it and bragged about how great it was. And I believed him. And little did I know he was just accepting the radio from the guy and gave him a good review because he asked for a good review, not because the radio was actually good. So I was very skeptical. And I got in touch with these guys, and I talked to Mike Satteretti. He's out on Long Island. And turns out he was friends with a friend of mine down here. And he knew him. Anyway, we talked, and he said, no, this is legit. I said, can you just promise me if I get this thing and I try it out and it doesn't work, you'll give me my money back? He said, yes. Okay, I'm willing to take a risk. At the time, it was going for about, I think it was like $175 or $178, I forget. But I bought it. Didn't have Bluetooth, didn't have a lot of stuff. But it did have the port to control my radio, another port to control my rotor. And what was so ironic is I returned that crap radio and used the credit I got to buy their Yaesu 5500 rotor, which I mounted. Now, I'm going to show you this box. They've made some great improvements on it since I've had it. I've had 3 of these. Let's get this off the screen now. I've had 3 of these, and this one's not hooked up, and this is the newest. This is the prototype with Bluetooth built in. All I had to do is look at the back to get the website. Duh. Anyway, made in USA. That's the other thing great about this. On the top, you have power, communication. This is connection. This way you connect your CIV cable. This is your rotator, plugs into this. So the 5500 plugs in here. Actually, the radio plugs in here. This is this is an adjustment screw in here. Ignore that. This is where you plug the radio in. This is where you plug the rotator in, and this is where you plug in the power cable, which is just a 5-volt USB connection. And what's great is this, the newer one, it now has USB-C on it. So with the USB-C, you plug that into any power supply that powers a USB cable, and that powers the whole box. Then you hook this up to your Wi-Fi, and it downloads off the internet all the Kepler data, the TLE information, all that goes in here. Now, here's the issue we had. If you go back and find the last live video I did of a satellite pass, you will see that there was a crack of thunder, and at that exact moment, my radio stopped responding to the sat box. So I knew I had an issue. So what do you do about that? Well, luckily, since I'm friends with these guys, I was able to get in touch with Mike Sataretti and Keith Bush. Keith Bush is the head engineer for Satbox, and we did some troubleshooting through a Zoom call. And what we found was, looking into the radio, I should see 5 volts both sides, tip ring sleeve. I should see 2 5-volt and a ground. And what I was getting looking into the radio was a short, and on one side I had some weird voltage. It was not 5 volts. So right there, we knew it was the radio. We tested with 2 different sat boxes, same issue, and we tested with 2 different cables that we use to connect the sat box, which is just simply a tip ring sleeve cable like this one right here. Yeah, let's see if we get that to focus. Not going to get it to focus. There it is right there. All right. Anyway, this goes between this box and the radio. So now I have the radio plugged into this. I have the rotator plugged into this. And and I have the power going to this. And I never shut this off. I leave it running all the time. So what happened was, when that thunderclap hit, it sent static electricity through everything. Nothing noticeable other than watching the radio stop reacting. So I sent it back to ICOM. It cost me $134 to ship the radio back. It was no longer under warranty. So I sent it back, and they told me it was going to be $150 an hour, minimum 30 minutes to fix, and then they got to ship it back to me. So I talked to them on and off here and there, and they said, all right, they figured it out. It was a blown transistor on the CIV board. All right, remember that. Blown transistor on the CIV board. Now, if this was something that never happened before, and I happen to be the lucky guy that happened to me first, I would have been really happy about that. But it turns out this happens a lot. A lot of people's 9700s blow this transistor because of static electricity. Not a direct lightning hit, just a slight voltage hit in static electricity. So what do you do for static electricity? How do you prevent this from happening again? I'll show you in a second. I'm out driving around the other night, going to meet some buddies for dinner up in St. Augustine, and I'm on the St. Augustine repeater, and I get on there, and I say that I'm mobile, and a guy comes back to me, and we start chatting. Turns out he's a broadcast engineer. And when I told him what happened, the first words out of his mouth, that's a blown transistor on the CIV board. Seriously? There's no protection? He says, yeah, it happens a lot with the 9700s. And nobody's telling anybody about this? I said to him, well, what can I do to prevent that in the future? I mean, we're not going to stop having thunderstorms in Florida. So what do we do to prevent that from happening again? Well, I'll tell you what we do. Toroids, my boys and girls, toroids. So when I heard that, and I heard exactly what the trouble was, the first thing I did was grab my CIV cable, which is really not CIV, it's CI5. Ray Novak corrected me on that. Just like it's not a PL tone, it's a CTSS tone. So here's what I did. I had these small beads. I put 3 on each end, and I covered it with shrink wrap. And the good thing is these can slide up and down a little bit. They're loose enough to be able to move on here, but they're snug enough to actually do the job they're supposed to do. So I'm debating if I'm going to leave all 6 the way they are, 3 at one end and 3 at the other, or I might put all of them at one end right next to the sat box or right next to the radio when I get the radio back to prevent that from happening. Now, I happen to have these little small toroids beads, so I put them on like this. You don't have to do it like this. You can get a regular large one and wrap the wire around it a few times. What that's going to do, it's going to cancel out the effect of the static electricity, hopefully. This broadcast engineer, that was the remedy he suggested. So if you have a 9700 and if you use a sat box and it's hooked up to an antenna outside, which they all are, make sure you do something in the line of putting toroids on your CI5 cable to prevent any static from backfeeding into the ICOM 9700. That is what broke it, and that is what will fix it and protect it. The sat box has no protection. I'm going to suggest to Mike and Keith that they put on the cables that they send out with this, because they give you this cable. It's just a tip ring sleeve. It's nothing fancy. It's not shielded or anything special. It's just a regular tip ring sleeve audio cable. I'm going to suggest to them that they do this to all their cables when they ship them out. Put some toroids on them. Okay, what do we got here? Iman saying 1 on each end is plenty. Really don't want much weight hanging on the port. Oh, it's not going to be hanging anyway. These will be sitting on the desk. These will go into the radio and into the sat box, and there's just like no weight at all to these. These are very tiny, small beads that I put on there. They make bigger ones. I have some big ones. And Roger, who jumped into the feed here, Kilo Victor 4 India. Hi, Roger. Thanks for coming. Roger already put a big toroid on his cable just to protect himself. 1 on each end is plenty. Don't want too much weight hanging on the port. Okay, good enough, he says. I'm glad I have your approval, Iman. Anyway, if you have this radio and this sat box, I stress it cost me $300 to learn this lesson. I'll just say that. Between the shipping there and the repair and the shipping back, $300 it cost me. I don't have my radio back either yet. It's been about a month. So I'm hoping it comes back this week sometime. I asked them if they could ship it a little faster. It was like $100 extra to go faster. So I said, forget that. I'll wait. I can wait till you get it. But that's it, and the thing is, these are stupid little things that you think you should know off the top of your head. Either ICOM should say something, because the one thing Michael and Keith told me was ICOM does not put any protection in for that circuitry, which they need it. They need some sort of protection. So if they're not going to do it, you do it. Put the toroids on there, and that should eliminate any issues from static electricity going into your ICOM 9700, which will blow the transistor on the board. So only took me about 15 minutes to tell you how that works. So if anybody's got any questions or anybody wants to talk or chat about something else, man, jump in. You can get on the screen with me. Tell me what you've been up to and how you've been having ham fun with your ham radio. Let me know. Jump in. You can go live with me. That's all I had to talk about tonight. I don't. Oh, and the other thing is I used to run a lunch every Wednesday at the Elks Club in Palm Coast, Florida. That is ended. The Elks is losing money on that lunch, that buffet lunch. So we're not going to be, going to lunch on Wednesdays anymore. If somebody else starts a thing and wants to do it, I'll support it, but I'm not going to run it anymore because it sucks not to get anything back. Yeah, I know ICOM can fix that issue. They really should, because there was not a lightning strike at my house. It was static from, it was not a direct hit is what I'm saying. It was static from a lightning strike that caused that to happen. So protect your gear, man. Toroids are cheap. Grab as many as you can. Put them on every freaking wire. I just did it. I was getting a bad problem with running FT8, where when I would run FT8, my radio would switch to USB mode instead of USB data. And I was like, what's going on? I've been running FT8 all day. What was happening was the interference, the RFI, was causing that to happen, screwing up the cable. So two things I did. I'll show you both of them. I got to take this wire off here first to show you. I'm disconnecting one of the antennas. I put this, when my 160 meter end fed, I made this up. This is a toroid I got on Amazon, and I took a small jumper, wrapped it around it a bunch of times, and that goes between my antenna switch and the antenna, which is beyond the lightning protection. So I'm going to put that back so I don't forget. The other thing I did, and I'll show you on the 9700 USB cable, because I was doing this on my 7300 and I said, do it on a 9700 cable also. So I can show you the 9700, what I did, if I can get to it. Where's my 9700 USB? Here it is. All right. Took the same type toroid, and this is the USB cable. All right. This goes to my 9700. If you saw the other side of the label, you'd see it said that. There you go, 9700. So when I get my 9700 back, this goes there. And then I wrapped it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times around. All right. Once I did this on a 7300 USB cable, the problem with it switching out of data mode, it disappeared. Yeah, so this is what I built. Now, if you don't want to build these or you don't have the patience to do it, you can go to abrind.com, ABR Industries. Use my code HAMFUN. It's actually ABR10 HAMFUN is my code on ABR Industries, and they make those chokes for you. They make it, and they shrink wrap the whole thing, make it really nice, and that'll cover your butt. So in my case, I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start trimming out the excess coax. Now, I'm a little leery about doing it on the 160 meter end fed because I think it's actually working as the other half of the antenna more so, and it might be hard to get the antenna as good as it is. Right now, that 160 meter antenna is fantastic. I can get all over the world with it, and the numbers within the bands are so perfect. It's not even funny. And my Ziggy, I don't know if you know Ziggy, the 75 ohm ham. If you look at his channel, this man knows his antennas, and he couldn't believe the pattern that I got from my rig expert on my 160 antenna. My 80 meter off center fed also works amazingly well. I tried Whisper at less than 1 watt, and I got the entire planet. People hearing me and me hearing people from all over the world on that. And that was a lot of fun. Boy, I think the thunderstorm's over. It's not raining anymore, and there's no more thunder. But I'm not turning the radio on yet. Not going to get me twice. So, yeah. That's the story with that. So if anybody's got any questions, put them in the chat. Ziggy is a great guy. Imam likes Ziggy. He knows Ziggy. You've been watching him on Coffee and Ham Radios. He's really good. Ziggy knows his stuff. He's the one that helped me with the tower. He helped me build the whole tower. I got the concrete put in. He told me everything I needed. I put the base in, got the concrete put in the ground, and he came here and helped me assemble the tower by hand with nothing on it yet. Just put the tower together. And then he got up on my roof with a rope and we lifted that sucker up and he pulled it from the roof to raise it up. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, he knows antennas, definitely knows antennas. And if you have an antenna that isn't working right or you're kind of upset with it because it wasn't everything they said it was, if you send it to him, he will test it and try it out and make sure it works the way it's supposed to work and then send it back to you. That's what he's doing. He knows his 75 ohm ham. Go follow him on YouTube and check it out. He does a lot of nice stuff on YouTube. In my case, he really helped me out with the tower. And then it was my job. Oh, you sent him one. Oh, Imam, which one did you send him? Because he showed me one of the ones that somebody sent him. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, let me know. That's cool that you're working on his antenna. He's working on your antenna, I mean. I had one that I bought that I got so frustrated with that I just threw it in the garbage. I got rid of it. And turns out my friend Jim, my Elmer, he also bought one. But when he saw how I was having so much trouble with it, the mag loop. I saw that mag loop. Yeah, I love mag loops. Cool. Yeah, he showed me a picture of it. He sent it to me. That's cool. I can't wait to hear how he makes out with that. That would be cool. Anyway, so my buddy Jim, my mentor and Elmer, ND1C, he bought one too at the same ham fest I was at. And after he saw the hassle I was having with mine, he gave up. He never even took his out of the bag. Ziggy's got it now, and Ziggy's going to try to see how to make it work. It was a complicated build and had a lot of stuff I don't think you really need. But hey, I didn't know nothing. I got it 2.5 years ago when I first was getting into this. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to see what he comes up with this mag loop. He showed it to me. It was still in the box when he had it, but he's working on it. He did show it to me. I'm glad you're making use of Ziggy's talents. You're gonna like what he does. You're gonna have fun with it. Plus, he's just a fun guy to hang out with, and he does a great job. He's a jack of all trades. He's half Mr. Mom and half mechanic and half ham radio guy and tower climber, and he does all kinds of stuff. Great guy. Anyway, all right, where were we? I was telling you about the antenna that Ziggy's going to fix for Jim. He's going to try to. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're about a half hour into this, and nobody's got any questions. Nobody wants to chat. How many people we got watching? Man, we got 13 people watching. Come on. Only 2 people gave me a thumbs up. Come on, smash that like button. Oh, that sounds so corny. It's not 1990, Mike. But please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so that you're notified every time I go live. And trust me, in the future, going live will be a lot more exciting than this is right now. How many of you watched my video with Frank Bauer from ARISS? That man... he's a workhorse. He does a lot. We were on for an hour and we had some great conversations about ham radio on the International Space Station, what it is and where it's going and what they're planning on in the future. So if you go back and watch that, you'll enjoy that. That was 2 weeks ago tonight. I did that. The day I came back from Wisconsin. It was actually the day after my birthday. And we did that together. Man, I really like it when you guys participate. And right now, not seeing your question. What was your question, Roger? Oh, okay. Did I see your question? Let me go back and look. I missed it. Where's your question, Roger? I don't have a question from you, Roger. I don't see it. Do it again. Send it again. Oh, good. I'm glad you watched it, Iman. Roger, send me the question again. I didn't see it. I'll try to get to it. I'm looking back on the YouTube. No, I don't see nothing, Roger. Send me the question and I'll answer it. And meanwhile, my phone's dinging and making noise. It's probably telling me they dropped the severe thunderstorm warning. I think that's what that's about. Oh, there's a marine warning now. All right, good. Has nothing to do with me. Roger, type out your question. I'll answer it. Send me a question, Roger. Roger's typing. Good thing, too, he's a doctor. If he was handwriting it, we wouldn't be able to read it. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. So, yeah, the sat box will be in use pretty soon, as soon as I get my 9700 back. When you hear me clear as a bell on a satellite, you know it's all working again. You're trying to cut and paste. Just type it again. What's it going to take? 3 seconds? Send it again. I see. The only thing I see here, I don't see. I'm going way back into the chat looking for your question, Roger, and I don't see it. I'm looking all the way back to when Andy Cowley said hi. Where are you, Andy? Just type the question again, Roger. Or click on the link and join me live and ask me face-to-face. You could do that too. By the way, I got to tell you guys, thank you so much for following and liking. We're getting there. We got like 724 followers on YouTube. We're getting close, man. So, all right, Roger's not sending me the question. I'll keep looking for it. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Tell me, I got a haircut today. I got my beard trimmed. I kind of look a little more respectable. What do you think? My good friend Andrea does my hair. Here we go. Here's Roger's question. What frequency do you use to talk with an astronaut? Sat tracker frequency or the 145-800, 145-200? Okay. When they talk to you, when the astronauts are on the radio with you, they're talking to you on the regular crossband repeater frequency. They just jump in the middle and they'll say NA1SS is listening. That's what I got with Woody Hoberg when I got him one time. Or they'll say your call sign. You know, in Roger's case, they'll say his call sign and then welcome aboard the International Space Station. No, they'll say the call sign, then NA1SS, welcome aboard the International Space Station. If you hear anything else, if somebody says NAISS, you're not talking to the astronauts. I have a video a guy sent me, said he talked to an astronaut, and that was the call sign the astronaut supposedly was using. And I'm like, yeah, no, they know their call signs. They're ham radio operators. They're not. These guys that talk on the radio from the ISS, they are not like newbies. They're not just techs that just got their license. These are guys that actually have ham radio experience, and they have a call sign. And they operate as NA1SS, but like in, I heard that Matt, what's his last name? Anyway, the guy that's been on recently, Matthew Dominic, he'll tell you that you're on NA1SS and then give you his call sign as well. That's how you know. So yeah, you just use the regular sat box frequency that we use for crossband repeating. Now sometimes, and I would highly suggest you do not say crew active, because the crew is active 24/7 up there. That's crew active is reserved for if you actually talk to an astronaut. So if you talk to an astronaut, then go to the the AMSAT page and report it as a crew active. If you just hear them talking to a school, which you might hear on some of the other frequencies that are listed on there, on the sat box, you will hear them talking to other locations and schools or whatever. sometimes there'll be a school in Germany, but actually not Germany. I won't use Germany as an example. Let's try. All right, there was a school in Virginia that was doing a live contact with the ISS, and it was a school contact session where they had like 10 or 12 kids that were going to ask questions of the astronauts. When they did that, the ISS was over Europe. Well, how do they do it? They have ground stations. AMSAT has ground stations all over the country, and this particular one was in Italy. I guess you could do a search on YouTube for Italy ground station for ISS contacts, and you'll find these guys. I subscribe to them because a lot of times they'll do school contacts with schools all over the world in other countries or whatever, but the ISS isn't there at the time. So what they do is they get a ground station that's near where the ISS is going to be during that contact, and they pipe the frequencies and everything back and forth through data lines. And this gives the kids in Virginia a chance to talk to the ISS that's over Europe while the Italian station is downloading it and streaming it up at the same time. So they're not actually, as opposed to like when Embry-Riddle University, which is in Daytona Beach, did a contact with the ISS. The ISS was actually over Daytona Beach when they did it, and they set up a rotor, a Yaesu rotor with the SAT box. As a matter of fact, they made it a requirement that they use the SAT box. I'm really happy that this SAT box is getting the publicity it's getting. I think I was one of the first people to actually make good use of it. And like I said, if any of you know anybody else that streams live while the pass is going on, I would love to watch them and see how they do. I think I'm the only one that does that. If I'm not the only one, I am definitely the first one who likes to stream satellite passes live. I also sometimes get on and I'll just stream FT8 while I'm doing that. I'll just jump on, or I'll do HF frequencies. I'm just getting a. Why is my printer telling me it wants to update now? No, you're not gonna, of course it's during a live feed, right? Anyway, there are other times that I get on the air. Sometimes I'll do HF. I'll just start making calls on HF. You've seen that. I'll tell you why, because I love getting on live. I love using Restream. I love using, what is it? What are you sending me here, Iman? Oh, Iman is sending his email. I guess that's what that is. All right, cool. All right. Anyway, so I love getting on streaming live because I'm climbing the walls, man. I love streaming live. I love talking to you guys. I love when you interact with me. So I like getting on live. And since I had no 9700, I started doing live HF. And, oh, whose YouTube channel is that? Iman? Simon in the UK. He actually does live streaming of satellite passes. Excellent. Ooh. I got to find him. Let me copy that. MOYKSH Ham Radio. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to look for him and see if I can get Simon, be a follower of Simon. All right, cool. Thank you for that. I didn't know of anybody. I've been looking around and I don't see anybody. And if he does it live, I would love to subscribe to his channel and watch him when he's doing it. What's really cool is if you find somebody like him, if we're both streaming the same pass to talk to each other, that would be freaking awesome. Except the only satellites, and it depends on where they are over the Atlantic, that might be able to make that happen. If he's in the UK, probably be RS-44. And RS-44 would have to be like right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so I could hit it and he could hit it. But I'm so much further south than you guys, I doubt there'd be a footprint that would get both of us in the footprint. But we could try. That would be cool. I'm gonna find his channel and subscribe to it. That sounds like a lot of fun. PO101. Yeah, you know, PO101. Where is PO101? Let's see. I'm going to go to the AMSAT page. You can't see it. SO20. You know what was odd? The UVSQSAT was active. And somebody just reported it active today at 14:31 UTC. I heard Whiskey Zero, Charlie Yankee Charlie was talking about that. He did a video on that satellite. PO 101. It's been read. The last not found. That's not good. I thought PO 101. I'll have to do some more investigating on that and find out what the story is with PO 101 because I clicked on it on the MSAT status page and I got file not found. So I'll have to do a little more deeper search on Google and find out about that. But JO97 is supposed to be up. The PO 101, I believe you think that's the one we could do it on because that's a very, very high pass. It's not, I don't know if it's as high as RS-44, but let me see, is it going over me anytime soon? Yeah, it is. As a matter of fact, it'll be a 707 tonight. It'll be 11.8 degrees above me, according to my sat box. I'm just looking for it now. All right, they have an FM voice up on 470 centimeter and down on 2 meter. I might listen to that tonight on my HT. I think the HT has that in it. I also want to get into doing packet radio to satellites. I haven't done that yet. And I want to do FT4 to satellites. Aww. You're looking at me like, what is he saying awe about? I'll show you in a second. Let's see. Tower cam. Oop. We got a little deer in my backyard. Let's see if I can get him on the screen. Oh, he already left. And the camera's all fogged up anyway. Okay, I can't show you, but I saw him underneath my monitors. I could see into the backyard. I'm looking to revamp the ham shack, put new desks in here because my glass desks are not going to take much more abuse from me. All right. I've been rambling now. I'm rambling. All right. So, hey, Doug came to the game. How you doing, Doug? This is my buddy Doug. He's one of the guys, if you're ever calling into Gigaparts to find out about a radio or something like that, Doug is one of the guys you'll be talking to. He lives in my town here. Nice to see you, Doug. Good to have you here. By the way, Doug, I checked. You should be able to join my Facebook group with no problem. So get in there and try to join again. And if you answer all the questions, you'll be automatically in the group. We could use your help. Doug knows a lot about radios. He used to run a lot of nets for many years. And when I started in ham radio, Doug used to run the net on the ND1C room, 80751 on Wires X. Doug is watching on Facebook right now. So hopefully he'll be able to get in there. Okay, good. Go join, Doug. I'll make sure you get in the group. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the support. And also like and subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell for notifications when I go live. And right now it is 6:39. It's kind of a slow night. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat we just had about the sat box, the way to protect your sat box from static electricity. Actually, you're not protecting the sat box. You're protecting the ICOM radio. I'm going to highly suggest to the guys at CSN Technologies, they sell their cables with beads on them. To make sure that they can glom up excess static electricity coming in from a local lightning strike. Not a direct lightning strike, but nearby. It should protect it. So, yeah, bottom line, transistor on the CI5 port board in the IC9700 is what popped. They replaced it. It cost me $130 to ship it to ICOM, and it cost me $175 or $172 for them to fix it and return it to me. So we're talking $300 it cost me for that lesson, and all I needed was a couple of dime store beads on my wire to stop that from happening. And I didn't make that up. I found that out from a broadcast engineer. I mean, he works on regular FM and AM radio stations, not just ham radio. He is a ham, but he's an extra, but he's also an engineer on local radio stations. Great guy. All right. On that note, I don't think I got anything else. If anybody has any questions, jump in right now. I would love to hear what you got to say. So if you got a question for me, we're going to give you a couple of minutes. Don't forget, if you go to my webpage, ko4pdi.com, you can find all the discount codes for EMP Shield, Ham Radio Prep, ABR Industries, all American-made coax on ABR. You'd love that. And I got to give them a shout-out, too, because they sponsored me by helping me with they shipped me all my new cable, 200-foot LMR 400s and some other stuff, and they didn't charge me freight, which was very nice of them because I promote them on our channel, and they're great people. Shannon and Chuck are wonderful. If you went to Huntsville, Chuck wasn't there, but Shannon was there with Chuck's brother. I forget his name now. Forgive me. And they had some great stuff. And like I showed you, those chokes, if you need a choke for your US, I would highly suggest putting chokes on your USB cables going to all your Icon radios. Anything to prevent stuff from static electricity and RF, any excess RF or anything else to block it from going into your radios so that you don't end up blowing the transistor on the CIV port like I did and costing you $300. Oh, what is that guy? Group buy ferrites is common in clubs. Yeah. Yeah, we should. We need a bunch of them. I basically got everything I need now. I bought it all individually. They don't have to be the best ones, but you got to have them. So that's why, like, Imam was telling me I didn't need 3 on each end of the cable. I know, but I don't know how good these ferrites are, so I put 3. That was the size of the shrink wrap, so I put enough to fill up the shrink wrap. That's what I did. Really, seriously. That's what I did. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for coming. Doug was here. He got in through Facebook. Iman got here through YouTube. Everybody else got here through YouTube, so thank you very much. Roger was here. Iman was here. Andy Cowley was here. Who else was here? We got 18 people watching right now. To look at my handsome mug. By the way, I got a haircut today. She trimmed my beard. I look so spiffy. All I need now is a girlfriend. I probably wouldn't be so much into ham radio if I had a girlfriend. Oh, anyway. So you got a little sample of my $300 lesson, and now you'll know better not to destroy your radio. And if you live in Florida, toroids are your friend. You get as many as you can carry, and they come in handy. All right. I think that's it. Nobody's got any questions. Everything's good. I appreciate all you following me and subscribing, and I want you to know you can get discounts. Go to my page, ko4pdi.com, Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India.com. There you go. All right. On that note, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. I've had such a good time. I hope you did too. And, I got to change something. Hold on. Espeta. There, that's fixed. Okay, go back here. All right. So anyway, I had to change something before I left the stream. Otherwise, I'd forget to do it. All right, we got a good night. You're going to go to bed now, aren't you? Yeah, it's late up in Northern Ireland. Good night, man. Have a good night. Sleep tight. And don't do anything I wouldn't do, at least not without me, all right? This is Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India saying have a great evening. Come back here next week at 6, and I'll have more surprises for you. Maybe even a satellite pass on the ISS next Wednesday night. All right? All right, man. Greg always jumps in at the last minute. Greg, you made it. 73. Darn, I missed it. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to go back and watch it again. That's okay. You can watch it later. Yeah, as soon as I end the live stream. Actually, if you're watching right now on YouTube, you can go all the way back to the beginning right now. Even if I end it, it'll still play out all the way to the end. So, Greg, you didn't miss anything. Greg's a great guy. We went to Kennedy Space Center together a couple of weeks ago. It was a blast. I had fun. You want to go back again, Greg? Come on down, and we'll check it out. So anyway, this is KO4PDI saying 73, and don't do anything I wouldn't do, at least not without me, all right? You guys take care. God